Top of the morning or top of the afternoon, the beginning of the afternoon, I think. What time is this? Oh, it's 2 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. Oh, the beginning of the afternoon. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, time is flying. Welcome to the Ray and Everything show. We talk about Ray and everything. I usually just talk about boxing, but this year's the beginning is the second day of 2024. And I'm gonna start talking about everything. Maybe not gossip about people's lives. I'm not getting into that. But I'll just give my 2 cents of where I think we're headed and where I think we should be going. But I'm more so just trying to worry about my life and what I got going on. But besides that, welcome to the Ray and Everything show. We talk about Ray and everything. I see 2024 came around. I see your man Errol Spence is back. That's great news. I think he's been treated very unfairly in this last year. He took his first loss. I'm glad to see that he's okay. Time heals all things. Anybody who's taken a loss, knows that time heals all things. Time does, and that's God. God is a creation of time, and we're living under time. I think after this realm, we won't be living under any time, but time does do a lot of healing. If you're trying to heal and you're trying to stay away. So him staying away from social media, probably was staying away from his phone, probably was trying to focus on his kids, heal himself mentally, heal himself physically, and just get some rest from the world. And he had got the money and the luxury to do it, and so I'm glad that he did it. It's hard enough. Like, I don't have no money. I ain't no rich guy at all. I'm far from a rich guy, and it's hard to break away from the social media stuff. And I can only imagine. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Some type of famous person who gets embarrassed in front of the world, or not even embarrassed, because in my opinion it was just a loss. It wasn't really an embarrassment. This is a loss, a loss in a battle. But even losing in a battle in front of the world is a very serious thing for some people, and for a lot of people, and basically for, I guess, everyone. If you don't know how to deal with loss in front of the world, or deal with being ridiculed by people who don't even know you. And so, I see that, and I say to myself, and I say, having to go through that and deal with that, and be able to come back and, do something that's going to be great. That's pretty cool, and I commend him, for taking the time off, and I could also commend him for, coming back. I guess you can come back in the best spirits you can, but as far as it goes with these boxing channels and this new media and old media, is very shady. It's a very shady ordeal, and they're helping the world. They're helping the world be a bad world. It's not becoming a better world with them. All these so-called intellectuals. You're supposed to be intellectual. You should be trying to make the world better. You're not when you're criticizing somebody for how they play or what they do or what they didn't do. People need help, not criticism. So, that's dope. That's dope for him being back in 2024. I also want to talk about boxing in itself. It looks like, I don't know how true the rumors are if Floyd going to be fighting Pacquiao again in a rematch. I don't even know that it's worth it, but I think that it'll save boxing. And then what I also like to say is, all these different boxing channels, including my channel, well, not really my channel, because I'm going to be basing this on just life, period. But all the different boxing channels, you guys ought to thank Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford and Tank Davis and really all the stars, but mainly Errol, because For me, he's what got me back into watching boxing. I would not have gotten back into watching boxing without him. Truly. When I recognized the art of the walk down and how he would walk somebody down, and you realize, oh, you can walk somebody down and get him out of there. It wasn't all that pity pit pat, punch for punch stuff that Floyd was doing. Yeah, it was a full go for me back in boxing. And then I would see Terrence Crawford do what he do, whether it's moving forward or going backwards or fighting side to side. And he was just an amazing guy. And watching Shakur, watching Devin, watching Tank, just a bunch of amazing guys. But the one thing about Errol that made it different is he's not super athletic. So it doesn't look so amazing when he does it. It just looks like, yo, it's somebody that's doing it. You can relate. I can relate. Oh, I can get in there and do this. I can actually do this. I'm watching him do this. Not to say that he's not a very skilled fighter. He is, and probably worked on this for a long time. But that's the actual thing. When you see somebody who's just not using his athleticism, and he's using, just his knowledge of, fight science, it's impressive. It's quite impressive. So let me just say that. Let me just speak on that and him saving boxing, because that's what he did. And so, because Tank relies on his athleticism. Tank is short. Tank has a lot of power. If you get the trading with him, he's getting you out of there. So forget about it. Errol had to rely on real fight skill. Terrence is relying on tricks that he's done over the years, fighting on with the opposite side hand and beating you up with that hand, to where you like, oh, whoa, this hand, I don't even know what hand I should be avoiding. Keith was somewhat exciting, but he was just wild. And nobody wants to watch him. It's just wild. There was no science to it. He didn't know how to fight coming forward. He only fought going backwards. And then he would just throw wild punches. And it just wasn't impressive. Danny was slow. He'll knock you out, but that's off a counterpunch. So he wasn't really walking you down. It looked like he didn't know how to fight coming forward. I would say that David Benavidez, he made boxing great again too. David Benavidez. However, David's a big guy, right? So you gotta think yourself, well, I'm not a big guy. So you look at the advantages and you try to take, what advantages that you have and try to add them to the fighter. And say, yo, I can do this. So, you live and you learn. But yeah, he absolutely brought it back, and y'all should be thanking. Other than that, this is the year 2024. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in the world. As hard as it is, I would say, try your best to take care of yourself. Click up with a team of like-minded people who are gonna rock with you, and go with that. You'll be able to find out who's rocking with you and who's not, who's like-minded, who's not, through the conversation. But make sure you take your time to listen to people's conversation so you can understand if this person is a like-minded person as you are, or if not. Ray and everything. Out.